Brick Lane is a street in East London, England, in the London Borough of Tower Hamlets. It runs from Swanfield Street in the northern part of Bethnal Green, crosses Bethnal Green Road, passes through Spitalfields and is linked to Whitechapel High Street to the south by the short stretch of Osborn Street. Today, it is the heart of the city's Bangladeshi-Sylheti community and is known to some as Banglatown. It is famous for its many curry houses. Transport: the nearest London Underground stations are Aldgate East and Liverpool Street. The nearest London Overground station is Shoreditch High Street Station. History: winding through fields, the street was formerly called Whitechapel Lane. It derives its current name from brick and tile manufactures started in the 15th century, which used the local brick earth deposits. By the 17th century, the street was being developed from the south as a result of expanding population. Brewing came to Brick Lane before 1680, with water drawn from deep wells. One brewer was Joseph Truman, first recorded in 1683. His family, particularly Benjamin Truman, went on to establish the sizable Black Eagle Brewery on Brick Lane. The Brick Lane market first developed in the 17th century for fruit and vegetables sold outside the city. Successive waves of immigrants settled in the area. In the 17th century, French Huguenots expanded into the area for housing. The master weavers were based in Spitalfields. Starting with the Huguenots, the area became a centre for weaving, tailoring and the developing clothing industry. It continued to attract immigrants, who provided semi- and unskilled labour. In the 19th century, Irish and Ashkenazi Jews immigrated to the area. Jewish immigration continued into the early 20th century. The Sunday market, like the ones on Petticoat Lane and nearby Columbia Road, dates from a dispensation given by the government to the Jewish community in the 19th century. At the time, there were no Sunday markets open because of the Christian observance of Sabbath. Located at the junction of Cheshire and Sclater Streets, the market sells bric-a-brac as well as fruit, vegetables and many other items. Near the junction with Hanbury Street are two indoor markets: Upmarket and Backyard Market. In 2010, the Brick Lane Farmers Market opened, intended to be held every Sunday in nearby Bacon Street. It has now closed. In the later 20th century, Bangladeshis comprised a major group of immigrants and gradually predominated in the area. Many Bangladeshi immigrants to Brick Lane were from the Greater Sylhet region. These settlers helped shape Bangladeshi migration to Britain. Many families from Jagannathpur and Bishwanith tend to live in the Brick Lane area. Religious groups: in 1742, La Neuve Église, a Huguenot chapel, was built on the corner of Brick Lane and Fournier Street. By 1809, it was used by missionaries as the Jews' unregistered trademark chapel, where they promoted Christianity to the expanding Jewish population. It was adapted as a Methodist chapel in 1819 for Protestant residents, reflecting the changing demographics of the area. In 1898, the building was consecrated as the Mashak-e Hadath, or Spitalfields Great Synagogue. After decades of change in the area, with Jews moving out and Bangladeshis moving in 1976 it was adapted again as the London Jam Masjid to serve the expanding Bangladeshi community. The building is Grade II listed. Land ownership and naming: large swathes of Brick Lane and its surrounding areas were once owned by the Osborn family, baronets, of Chicksons in the county of Bedford. The family's holdings survived until at least the 1970s. The family's history continues to be reflected by the naming of streets in the area around Brick Lane, including Chicksons Street reflects the village of Chicksons in Bedfordshire, location of the family seat Chicksons Priory. The west end of what is now Chicksons Street was once Osborn Place. Modern Osborn Street was a renaming of the southernmost stretch of Brick Lane. Heynige Street reflects the marriage of George Osborn, 4th Baronet, to Lady Heynige Finch in May 1742. The modern Hopetown Street was originally Finch Street, reflecting the same marriage. The modern Old Montague Street was originally just Montague Street, preserving the maternal family name of George Osborn, 4th Baronet, whose mother, Mary Montague, was the daughter of George Montague, 2nd Earl of Halifax. The continuation of Chicksand Street to the east was once Halifax Street, referencing the same marriage. Modern Hanbury Street is made up of 4 streets shown on the 1853 map: Browns Lane, Montague Street, Wells Street and Church Street. Regeneration. In the 20th century, the Brick Lane area was important in the second wave of development of Anglo-Indian cuisine, as families from countries such as Bangladesh migrated to London to look for work. Some curry houses of Brick Lane will not sell alcohol, as most are run by Muslims. More recently, the area has also broadened to being a vibrant art and fashion student area, with considerable exhibition space. Each year most of the fine art and fashion courses exhibit their work near Brick Lane. Bengalis in the United Kingdom settled in big cities with industrial employment. In London, many Bengali people settled in the East End. For centuries the East End has been the first port of call for many immigrants working in the docks and shipping from Chittagong port in Bengal. Their regular stopover paved the way for food curry outlets to be opened up catering for an all-male workforce as family migration and settlement took place some decades later. Humble beginnings such as this gave birth to Brick Lane as the famous curry capital of the UK. Bengalis of Sylheti origin constitute only 10% of all South Asians in Britain. However, around 90% of all South Asian restaurants in the UK are Sylheti Bengali owned. Since the late 1990s, Brick Lane has been the site of several of the city's best-known nightclubs, notably 93 Feet East and the Vibe Bar, both built on the site of the old Truman Brewery, once the industrial centre of the area, and now an office and entertainment complex. Nearby buildings of interest include Christ Church, Spitalfields, the Jam Masjid or Great London Mosque on the corner of Fournier Street and the Rag Factory on Hainage Street. Brick Lane is world famous for its graffiti, which features artists such as Banksy, Stick, ROA, Deface and Ben Ain. The lane has been used in many music videos such as Glory Days by Just Jack and All These Things That I've Done by The Killers. The nearest tube station is currently Aldgate East. In 2006 a campaign was launched to change the name of the station to Brick Lane, but received no official support. Contemporary culture wars. The street is the location for Monica Ali's book Brick Lane, published in 2003, and the film of 2007 starring Tanushree Chatterjee. The novel provoked a controversy with some of the local South Asian community because of a perceived negative portrayal of them. Parts of the Bengali community were particularly opposed to plans by Ruby Films to film parts of the novel in the Brick Lane area and formed the campaign against Monica Ali's film Brick Lane. Consequently, the producers of the film used different locations for certain scenes, such as that depicting Brick Lane Market. Despite this, the director of the film, Sarah Gavin, attests on the DVD commentary of the film that genuine footage of Brick Lane does appear in the finished movie. Activists told The Guardian they intended to burn copies of Ali's book during a rally to be held on July 30, 2006, but the demonstration passed without incident. Other notable books on the area were Salam Brick Lane by Tarkin Hall, On Brick Lane by Rachel Lichtenstein and An Acre of Barren Ground by Jeremy Gavin. See also, Bugle Bake, British Bangladeshi, Brick Lane Market, Spitalfields, Old Truman Brewery, The Black Eagle Brewery, On Brick Lane. References. External links, Brick Lane entry at the Survey of London, Brick Lane through the last 200 years, including many genealogical pubs. Virtual e-tour Brick Lane shock wave player required, Brick Lane, East Community Heritage.